right. We are live. We are live everywhere that we want to be live by the looks of it. So that would be YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, pretty much every place except X and Instagram that we can be live. We're live. So welcome to Hypnosis Hero Podcast. You know me, of course. I am the captain, Shawn Kostiuk. And wherever you happen to be joining us in the world tonight, we've got an exceptional guest with us. Brian is not here yet. I believe in the United States, the State of the Union is about to start, so he will be by as soon as he can. And once that happens, then we'll have a cozy triumvirate. In the meantime, quick updates. There's one major update that I can quickly talk about, and that is the Performing Hypnosis Summit. And if you give me 2 seconds here. So a couple things you need to know. The replays are pretty much ready to roll. And where's my share? Share, look at that. Share the screen. We want to share this screen. And we're going to show it on the stream just like that. I love how it defaults to there. I actually prefer myself on this side. I don't know why. But the Performing Hypnosis Summit 2027, you will see the dates, January 22nd to January 25th. You will see that speaker submissions, we are almost ready to go. Speaker submissions will be opening probably next week. And, March 1 comes around pretty quick. We'll have lots of information on that. Like I said, you can see the replay vault is there. If you still have pictures from PHS that you're going through, let us know. Tag them because we can get them into the picture gallery. It just gives us people an idea of what else is happening in the world, and you'll see time is running out. It always is. 331 days. We did this last year, this whole countdown, and we got down to 100 days, and we're thinking, oh man, this is coming up quick. And then it was down to like 20 days, and it's like, okay, well, it's coming up really quick. And next thing we knew, there were 0 days left, and we were on. So, lots of planning, lots of testing, and all sorts of good things are happening behind the scenes with Grant, Brian, and myself. We're getting some of those issues that were issues last year cleaned up, and we're streamlining a lot of the processes because, again, we want to make sure that when we do go live with speaker submissions, it's ready, it's solid, and it will do what it needs to do. So with that in mind, I'm going to pop this back off the screen. We're going to stop the share. I'm going to get rid of that. And my computer tells me that I have a high load, which is always true when you have two different things trying to stream out. So Wave, of course, streams out to hang on. All right. Thought I was going to sneeze there. Straight out to LinkedIn, to YouTube, and to Facebook. A couple different Facebooks. TikTok is its own little beastie over on this side here, and so it has a tendency to chew up a lot of resources trying to stream two sets of video, but it gets the job done, which is what we want. All right, now, without further ado, because our guest tonight is actually in the UK, and if anybody knows, when Becca shows up, it's always the next day, or if we happen to have Grant on, it's always kind of the next day for him. So Tuesday morning at about 1:30 in the morning. So we will try and keep this interview as tight as we can and go from there. But without further ado, our guest tonight is a comedy hypnotist from the UK who's been performing all around the country, from pubs and clubs to holiday parks and weddings. In 2022, he was featured on UK Channel 5, showcasing his hypnotic talents on television. Since then, he has taken his comedy hypnosis shows across Europe and continues to tour every year. Back home in the UK, he also teaches aspiring stage hypnotists and helping newcomers gain the confidence and skills to perform their very own shows. And I can tell you this, as a guy who's just started, I would still consider myself very much an elementary, primary school type of uh, stage hypnotist, because I've got a few shows behind me, but there's always something to learn, and so having somebody like this who can teach it, even better. His courses have received amazing feedback from the students who've gone on to start their own performances. And without further ado, welcome to the Hypnosis Hero podcast, Mr. Dylan
Hey,
Lovegrove.
how you doing, Shawn?
There we go. All good. So it is. What time is it there now? It's Tuesday morning. It's about 1:37 in the morning, give or take.
Yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
1:37. Feels like 1:37 as well. I'm trying to trying to catch up, but with some drink, some good old caffeine to wake the brain up a bit. But yeah, I'm all good. I'm all good. Thank you for having me, Shawn.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and thank you for staying up and being with us tonight. It's certainly very much appreciated. Um, I think let's start with the big question that everybody would want to know, which is, how did you get into hypnosis? Because everybody has this, I call it the origin story, or the operating system that gets us going, the OS. So tell us a little bit about how you got into it and what kind of sent you down the path of stepping into what I call the road of, why am I doing this?
Yes. Yes, the old road. Why am I here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it started about 15 years ago. My partner, she had a bad bereavement with losing her father, and so what happened was she she was struggling with coping with the emotions, so she went to see a hypnotherapist. So after doing about 3 or 4 sessions, she got fascinated with hypnosis herself, how it was working, and so she went on a course, and she went into London and done a day where she was learning to do a rapid induction course, learning very quickly, and I happened to be the guinea pig when I got home from work that day. So I got in, and I think she had done like when you get the hand lock, put the hands out, and then she pushed my hand down and sleep. And yeah, that was it. As soon as she done that to me, I was in a trance. I came out of the trance. She counted me 1, 2, 3, eyes open, wide awake. And I sort of looked around the room and I felt a shift in consciousness. I was like, something happened there, and that was it. I was hooked, and so from there I started going on courses in London and learning it myself, and that was 2014, 15, and yeah, it just blossomed from there. And I don't remember since then not waking up thinking about it. Like it was just always there. Um, Watching YouTube videos, hyper focusing on it just constantly every day. And I do remember being a kid and watching Paul McKenna years ago on UK TV and being fascinated with it. That was like but it was never a thought of like, oh, I want to do that. It was just, that's amazing, until it happened to me. So that was the ignition right back there. Yeah.
It's always interesting. There's a lot of guys that they've been out to a show, they had their girlfriend or significant other with them, got hypnotized, and it's like, wow, what is this whole thing? There's some of us that we were just so geeky that nobody bothered with us, so we found a way to kind of entertain ourselves until we could get some real information on it. Yeah, there's a million and one stories, and it usually involves somebody stepping out and doing something that was a little bit different, and boom, you get hooked. You're like the
Yeah.
fish on the end of the fish hook.
Yeah.
Brian, give
Oh,
me a thumbs
absolutely.
up if you're ready. There he is. Can't hear you, but we can see you. Nope. Well, Brian's sorting out his technical issues. We'll keep going. So yeah, the one thing that I can say, like for me, I was the geeky kid. I lived out of town. Not necessarily the tallest. In my class, and I was certainly the youngest graduate when I graduated grade 12. But all I had was a satellite dish and the Sci-Fi Channel. Back when it actually showed some real sci-fi. So, obviously the classics, like Space 1999 would be one that you would definitely be familiar with.
Yeah.
Some of the marionette classics, like the Thunderbirds and all of those
Yeah.
pieces. Those were all there. Buck Rogers, Battlestar Galactica. Of course, Star Trek was there.
So are you guys able to hear me now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, how you doing, Dylan?
How you going, buddy? Good, you?
Oh, it's been a
Scott
day.
said he could hear you very faintly, and I was thinking that he probably is now thinking, "Dang, now I can actually hear him."
Right.
So, yeah, no, we're just talking about origin stories and how Dylan got into hypnosis and a little bit
awesome.
about how I got into hypnosis.
We tripped, stumbled, and Forrest Gumped our way into it.
I like that.
Yeah, that would be one way of looking at it, because I mentioned the Sci-Fi Channel and all the stuff that was on there. To me that was quality education, but not necessarily the most realistic depiction of what hypnosis actually was, right? And so you hit university, and there's a library here. There's this big book by Orman McGill. There's these other, nobody was taking those books out. So I cleaned the dust off and started reading those books and whatnot, and that's how I got hooked into it. And then there were, back in those days, that was kind of the advent of the internet.
Right.
And so guys like Jim Zellis and his wife were just starting to post their shows and pictures and, little media clips that, come through as grainy as, what we'll call it early or late 1990s internet. And it was, those were the things that kind of sustained me. Actually, Salish had another one. His website always had something good, and then there were 2 or 3 others that I was able to find and follow, and it was like, okay, so there are people doing this, and they're making a go of it. So,
oh yeah, for sure. And what's kind of wild is, ironically, that's really kind of the benefit of going to conferences. Is you get to know people, and then it's like, wait a minute, hold on, you make how much? And this is what's actually possible. Okay. So that's really what, I don't want to say like what did it for me, but I was like, I am not cut out for a 9 to 5. I am not corporate friendly as far as being an employee, because I don't like the politics. I tend to kind of say what I mean, and there really isn't like I don't want to say much of a filter, but it's like, if I'm not happy, I'm going to let somebody know. And it's not just I'm going to complain about it and hope that it gets better. It's, hey, I've identified something and everything. And so a lot of corporate leadership, that doesn't mesh well. So kind of going out on my own, or I find that I work best in like small groups, small teams, where we all have a common goal. And it's like, look, when we all succeed and we get paid, outstanding. But when you have other people that will purposely try to sabotage your efforts and everything, so that their default is, if you look bad, they look better. Like, I just don't play that.
Yeah.
So that's where I was like, all right, I can actually make a living. And then talking with Chris Jones, he was like, I'm on the road a couple days a week and then I'm home. Family is important to me, and to be able to, have that lifestyle, for me, my living expenses aren't, terribly huge. I don't have 2 or 3 children to feed or 4 car payments and all that stuff. It's like pretty basic. But no, Dylan, remind me where you're at right now geographically.
I'm based in West London, basically right next to Heathrow Airport. So if you guys ever come to London, you land at Heathrow, give me a shout, because I'm literally just over the road, literally a 15-minute drive. Yeah, literally. So I've actually got I was gonna say I've got a friend coming from Ireland. Richard Barker's doing training over here in this next coming days. So I've got a friend from Ireland coming down. So she's meeting up with us, having a cup of tea, a cup of coffee. So yeah, if you guys ever come over here, give us a shout. It'd be great to meet up.
Yeah, definitely do that.
What's that famous martini bar that's there? Is like Dave's or something, or David's?
I might be. You know, I'm not really too sure, if I'm honest with you. That's probably something I need to learn up quickly, because is that well known over here? Then is that like a known thing for people coming over?
Jack Carr is a kind of a military special operations author, if I recall correctly. And he did a post, and I had asked Becky about it, and it was like, yeah, it's sort of like the James Bond, where that martini, comes from. And so I'd asked her about that, and she goes, I don't know. Now, of course, I've had a whole bunch of messages going back and forth, so trying to go find that post. But then I also remember the cigar guys, Davidoff's. They've got the cigar lounge or somewhere, and then you go get like your custom suit made at the tailor across the way or something like that. But it's all right downtown London, and probably costs a fortune.
Oh, that's probably why I don't know it then.
Stacy wrote in the chat, Dukes.
Dukes, that's probably it. Yeah.
There aren't many Dukes left in the UK, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm gonna leave it alone.
It was a setup for you, Brian. You're good.
Oh.
You're good.
Is there a good backstory in this one, Brian? Is there?
Oh no, I was going to be like, I'm not going to comment on people who recently got arrested in the media, but
I'm sure there'll be more.
That's for the monarchy to. But yes, Stacy, Duke's London is what I was looking at.
Yeah,
it looks like a lovely place. They probably
one of the goals that I have. I want to get to the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference, but I also do want to get to the UK Hypnosis Convention. It just happens to fall in November, and until I retire from that other job, I can't quite make it out in November. But at some point, yes, it's definitely on my list of places I want to go. Speaking of other people from the UK.
Oh God, it's her. No, Becky, cheers. Welcome to joining us again.
And I promised Dylan that we keep this interview tight, so 45 minutes ish, and then we'll ask the
off to bed
the friend or frenemy question, and then we'll let him head off into I would say into tomorrow, but he's already there. It's like a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's the weather tomorrow?
Actually, today's been really good. Well, yesterday, I should say now, was really nice, sunny. We got our first bit of what you call the touch of spring look, for the UK. And the thing is over here, when the sun comes out, people sort of, open their windows and look out, and they sort of, what is that glowing ball of flame up?
Bright light.
What is that? Yeah, what is that? It's beautiful.
Tommy, is this the cool kids table? I'm like, oh, this is the cool. cool kids table. All right. Well,
If
with
this is
that,
the
good
cool
night,
kids
gentlemen.
table, we're in trouble. I thought we were all kind of the weird kids that tripped, fell, and stumbled into hypnosis.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
Becca, you'll hang out with us. But no, yeah, we've got the United States State of the Union address that's going on tonight, so I'm kind of half watching that, and we've got the U.S. Olympic hockey team, both men's and women's, that are going to be introduced and acknowledged. Shawn, Canada played a great game.
Oh well,
We
went into
got lucky.
overtime. Both teams had all kinds of good chances to score and didn't. So
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not going to be one of those guys that's like, in your face, Canada sucks. I mean,
yeah, because if I pulled up the stat sheets, I think you guys have only won the Olympics 3 times, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, my heart.
I think the Russians won more than you guys did.
Oh, they've been around longer than us. I mean, my heart did go out to Connor McDavid because he's like 2 Stanley Cup finals losses, and then he gets all this way, and I'm like, look, the kid's got talent, class, makes more money than I ever will, and you know, it would have been really cool to see him win a gold medal. He definitely earns.
He'll get there. He'll get there.
But
next time.
But yeah, so kind of Dylan. Yeah, so you guys already covered how he Forrest Gumped his way into hypnosis, correct?
Yep. And I was gonna step into a couple different areas because Dylan trains other hypnotists, and I know when I was talking with Grant, he said you do an exceptionally good and very thorough job of making sure they understand the ins and outs of things like being safe on stage and how to do certain techniques in an order that makes sense, that is actually going to help them make a good show out of good presentation out of what they want to do. Tell us a little bit about what happens in your classes and what type of people might want to just jump in and actually take this on as a career through your training.
Yeah, so what I found was when you start off is obviously, it's the hardest time for anyone to experience their journey. And I kind of find there's a lot of pressure on the hypnotist because obviously what we have is the issue that if we don't have enough volunteers, we have a problem. If we have not enough decent hypnotic subjects, we have a problem. So in the UK, when you first start off, I talk about momentum, hypnotic momentum. And so what I explain to people who come to the training is that, if you do a theatre show, if you imagine momentum on a scale, high to low, when you go to a theatre show, the momentum is already very high. People have paid for their ticket. They put value on going to there to experience hypnosis, whether that be volunteering or watching it. But if you do in the UK a pub or a club, it could be that you're going to have an audience that some of them don't even want to be there to see you. You're just part of being that weekly or weekend entertainment. So people ain't paying value to see you. So the momentum's much lower. It's extremely low. So I teach students how to build that. And when you first start off, you've got to build that magic for people. Because there's a very sort of I say, like in therapy and in stage, you need it both. You need that kind of magic to show someone that something's happening that we can't explain, but it's there, and we're going to show you how it works. Put your hands together, rub your hands, do your fingers. So I teach the students to go around the room at the beginning before the show and start talking to people. Get interact. And I know it's a horrible feeling because it's like, they're very nervous, but I say if you do this, you will increase the momentum. You create that. People get to experience who you are. So the training is for the beginners. It's for I get a lot of therapists come to the training as well that just want to get a bit of extra confidence in their therapy room. And some of them do go off and actually do their own shows as well when they didn't really anticipate they were going to do that. They just wanted to come along and just learn some of the rapids and do that stuff. So it's definitely for the beginners who want to sort of have a success with doing their show as best as they can, as much success and experience as what they can get in the training before they go out into the big world, hypnotic world. But yeah, so it's basically for the beginners and therapists that want to gain a bit of extra confidence. Because I teach something called the Plan B as well, like the Plan B option. What happens if you don't get enough volunteers? What happens if you do get volunteers and there's only 4 or 5 of them and they all seem to be not responding to your suggestions? What do we do? And so I teach them what to do, Plan B, to get around that. It's and it's not difficult. It's quite simple stuff. Plan B, in fact, is more about prepping the Plan B before the Plan B happens. Getting the venue to understand and stuff. So
yeah, exactly what I'm going to do as soon as we're done here. I have a show coming up on Friday, and we're looking at how many people are going to be there. I'm kind of trying to gauge, okay, how many people realistically am I going to get? You always want to have those scenarios in mind. If I have this many people, this is the route that I'm going to go. And the more you kind of plan that out ahead of time, like you said, the easier you're going to find being able to just be in the moment with the people that actually do volunteer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And a lot of people will learn a bit of magic, mesmerism, which is perfect because you could, that can be the Plan B option for them. But my course and training is just literal hypnosis. So it's just people that want to do hypnosis and only know that as their go-to. But yeah, card tricks, magic, comedy. We've got Jason Simmons over here. He's fantastic. He has so many strings to his bow with comedy and magic. He's fantastic with his Plan B options.
Jason came out to Vegas for a few days for the conference in January, so it was nice to meet him. Definitely interesting character. He was kind of like, I flew in, I'm kind of jet lagged, and then we turn around and we roll back to London in a couple of days. I'm like, man, that's a whirlwind trip. Yeah. But Becca's got kind of a cool question. She's asked, what's been your most memorable experience from a stage show?
Memorable experience from a stage show. I think the most interesting.
And then she says, I was just going to follow you on TikTok, but didn't realize that she already follows you. So you had a fan for a while.
Yeah, I find that with TikTok though, you sort of just add, and then we just multiply. I don't even know we're adding and stuff. So yeah, cool, nice one, Becca. Thanks for that. I'll follow you back. Must be following her back, I'm sure. But yeah, I've my most memorable, I would say, interesting experience was it was about 6 years ago. I'd done a holiday park stage show. And after the show, I came off stage and I was walking with my equipment to go back through the venue to my car. And this really big guy came up to me, but he was when someone's walking towards you and you think, wow, this guy looks like he means business. And he sort of just stopped me in my tracks. I was holding my 2 bags, ready to pack the car. And
you're like, this is going to go sideways.
yeah. I'm like, right, hang on a minute, where's the exits? Quick. So I put the bags in and said, oh, hello, my friend. And shook his hand. He said, I was hypnotized in the audience. He said, and what I done was I had a suggestion that if I got this from Mark Savard, so if someone was like leaning on someone in hypnosis and trance, you'd say, and if someone leans on you or moves against you and you feel that person, it's going to help you go even deeper into hypnosis. And so what happened with this guy, he was amazing, susceptible, and he went deep into hypnosis in the crowd, and his partner started to rock him to wake him up, but that deepened his experience because of the
nice,
right? So
you had an assistant, didn't even know it.
I had, yeah, totally. I should hire her, really. But yeah, so and he came up to me and he said, I said my partner was trying to wake me up, but he said, but I felt myself go even more into hypnosis. And I'm sure, because I said, as a safety aspect, I would always say, if anyone in the audience goes into trance, please put your hands up. Don't freak out. Don't panic. Just let me know. I'll come and see them, and maybe we can use them for the show. But I didn't get that from these people.
That's part of Plan B. If somebody goes out in the audience, hey, we can swap them out on stage.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so that this guy was like, he basically had most tranced. he missed the show. I feel like giving him an extra ticket for the next one. You know, he missed out on this one. But yeah, that was quite interesting to. I learned a lot from that. You know, it was like, okay, so this is what happened. And
that's where you ask if he's on. That's where you ask if he's on TikTok, and you go, "Here, follow me on TikTok. Let me follow you back." You can leave a review like, "Hey, I kind of missed the show because he hypnotized me in the crowd." All of a sudden, instant street cred.
Yeah. Can that happen? Yeah. And then everyone worries. So I do say that, you know, normally before the performance, if anyone gets hypnotized and you want to put your hand up, mate, you know, I mean, listen, you know what it's like, guys. You know, when you do shows, there's hundreds of things to remember, you know, and then sometimes you'll miss one little thing such as that, you know.
Oh yeah, I can relate. I had a big miss. This would have been my maybe third show, was for the volunteer firefighters of Saskatchewan, and so they're a robust bunch at the best of times, but
just
what I didn't,
alcohol.
Yeah, and then add alcohol, yeah, exactly. But what I missed, and I made a point of asking, you know, just scanning the crowd to make sure nobody was slumped over in their chair. What I missed was one of the ladies who was a fire chief told her people that if it looks like I'm going, stand me up and walk me out. And they told me this after the fact. So they, you know, and probably maybe a third of the way through my induction, and they scooted out the door before I could see them. So that's why I didn't see them in the crowd. So yeah, they came up to me afterwards and said, yeah, no, I was already on my way out. So, but they came back for the rest of the show, which was good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And so was he just kind of like, okay, thanks. I didn't do anything wrong. We're good. Off you went after meeting that guy.
Oh, do you know what? It was kind of, I came back there a few other times, and I don't think I met him again, but I always kept my eyes open to see if he was there, you know, just to spot, and really to see if he wanted to come up on stage. You know, it's like, because normally what happens is, because Anthony Gailey used to do it. It hypnotized people, everyone in the audience, you know, give them a bit of an experience, a little taster of what it was like. And then he'd be like, would you like to, until they're already suggestible. So he'd be like, would you like to come up? Would you like to come up? You know, and they're like, oh, well, okay, yeah, sure. Which is a beautiful way of doing it. But yeah, so I never got to see that guy again. And, you know, as far as I thought, well, I figured he was a regular there, you know, because you do get them, didn't you? You get the regular holiday makers go to the same place. So unfortunately, I didn't get to have him on stage after that experience. But that was one of my most memorable ones, in a sense, because of how strange it was. But yeah, I mean, going back to, you know, forgetting things like every now and then, I always tell my students when we're training that, you know, there's so many things to remember, and it's just remember the safety aspects first. You know, always keep that in mind. You know, get rid of suggestions, record your shows, and make sure everything's done to the best ability with your safety. Keep them in mind. But yeah, I remember doing a show, and again, this was another holiday park, and I remember doing the induction, and I remember going through the steps in my mind, and as I got to one of the first skits, I remember saying to myself, hang on, did I say every time I say the word sleep, you'll go back into hypnosis? And I thought, no, I didn't. I actually forgot one of the main post-it note suggestions, the key, the main one. Every time I say the word sleep, you'll close your eyes, you go even deeper back to hypnosis, 10,000 times deeper than you are now. And I forgot that, the main suggestion. And so there was a pivotal point where I had to say sleep and hope that they knew exactly what was meant. Luckily, they did. But it was, out of all the things to forget when you're doing, you know, and it was just like, wow, that was a big
hit. Yeah, no, that's a big one.
That was a big one.
Same show with the firefighters. I forgot that I had given a suggestion to a couple of the guys. So I'll say this: if you ever have cowboys, and Scott will appreciate this because he comes from Texas. If you ever have cowboys in your show, they are freaking hilarious. You know, I used them. They were both down at the far end, and you know, it was the stand up, jump up, and say I love hypnosis, and stand up and I love Shawn Kostiuk, right? And or I love Shawn the hypnotist, or however he said it. But so what I did and the way I phrased it was when anybody says my name.
Oh, nice.
And so some of the other fire chiefs picked up on it, and so they were. I had to cut it off and say, okay, now it's just going to be when I say it. But I got a little bit.
You had some people from the crowd shouted out.
Oh yeah, like I went around to
Oh.
go and punch some music on my iPad to set up the next skit, and then all of a sudden, hey, what about blah blah blah, and these guys would jump up, and so they got a lot of good exercise.
So, Beck is asking, do you have a favorite card trick or illusion that you use a lot, or what the audience tends to enjoy the most?
No, I don't actually do any card tricks or illusions at all. My training and what I do and shows is pure just hypnosis. But
Okay.
I find that it's a great go-to though. It really is. Like I say, Jason Simmons. When me and Jason Simmons started training pretty much at the same time, back in 2015, and yeah, he was like going on all these. He was doing all this different training and learning and stuff, and he just kept mastering these new things. But I think it's great to do. It's But if anyone is like me and they're not particularly interested, it's not interested, just feel it's not for them, learning magic and stuff, just to do the pure just hypnosis itself, then yeah, it's just a case of using hypnosis always as the go-to, whether that's doing entertainment or just getting people to relax. Sorry guys, unfortunately.
And I've heard that multiple schools of thought. Like some people would say, don't mix magic and hypnosis, because then they just think, okay, the magic portion, it's an illusion, it's control, whatever it is, some type of like a confusion, and then they tie hypnosis into that he's got stooges, plants, the people aren't actual volunteers, it's all choreographed, like American professional wrestling, it's a soap opera for men.
That was real. You're telling me the hoaxer was fake?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry to break it to you, buddy.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I understand. I get what you mean. Yeah, it's I mean, because there's always that question, and it's everywhere you go, when I'm setting up, I get people going, it's not real though, mate, is it? It's fake, isn't it? Eh? Well, you got people here, but there's a cool thing to do if you do like a show, is to get the volunteers up, especially with theatre shows. This is great. I don't know if you do this as well, Shawn, when you do your shows. It's just ask. So you get a member of the volunteers up, you speak to them, say, hey, what's your name? Where are you from? Oh, who you come with? And ask who they come with. Who's come with Dave, for instance? Anyone with Dave? Yeah. And then you get pockets of the audience cheering. Yeah, we're with Dave, we're with Gary, we're with, whoever. And then it proves that they're with people in the audience. These ain't stooges, Right. It's a great way to let people know that this is real. Because that's always the battle, It's always the battle is convincing people. Yeah. We want people to go there skeptic and come out believers. That's the plan. Hopefully.
That and you're absolutely right. Like we again, I go back to the stereotypes that I fell into off the hop when I started getting interested in it. It was, well, this is great. I can control everybody's mind. I'll be rich beyond my wildest dreams. I'll have an island of my own. And you find out that exactly none of that is exactly what it was portrayed as, and then you find out, okay, but there are some really cool things that you can do with this to help people, and and then of course you throw entertainment into it. And like I said, I had a couple of road trips this winter. Grant was over here in Saskatchewan as well, and Grant will tell you the weather was not the greatest for most of the month of December. And I had a couple of road trips where I thought to myself, if this is what it's going to be like, do I really want to keep doing this? You question it, and you get to the venue, and then you get on stage, and the show goes swimmingly, and everything is great, and then you think to yourself, okay, why was I even questioning Why was it even
You're like, oh, now I remember why I like doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Because once it's once you get out and you get going on the show and the volunteers come up and things start unfolding, you when it's all said and done, you come out.
And then the check clears.
Well, I mean, that's always an interesting side effect, right?
You're like,
But
yes.
the feeling that you get when you get to the end of the show, and things have gone well, like you said, you've now hopefully corrected a lot of that negative perception that's out there. Mm-hmm. You've given them something to think about, and the show that I'm doing is actually a double feature, followed up by I have a friend that's an illusionist, so we're doing a double feature for the local food bank here. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that we do is as you wake people up, you don't necessarily just send them straight back. It's like, okay, how was your experience? And the last time that I had volunteers on the stage here, they all said the same thing. It's like, well, what do you mean? We're just starting. I showed them my watch. No, you've been up here for an hour.
Oh, wow.
And they were just totally blown away by that fact. And of course, it just added to the whole.
Was that all of them, Shawn?
You just time travel.
All four of them said the same thing. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Hypnotic amnesia for all four. Brilliant.
Yeah. And
wow. That's great.
Okay. Didn't think I was that heavy on the induction, but they must have been, reasonably motivated to try it. And
who was it that we were talking to that we're like, yeah, there's this guy, he just was up on stage and he would not come out of trance for the life.
That was my very first show. So we were doing,
it was like, this guy's wife gave birth to triplets. He hasn't slept in 6 weeks, and he was just like, I'm up on stage. I'm going to take it where I can get it. And it was just like,
fair play.
Yeah, you go enjoy yourself, bud.
Yeah, I had somebody who went very much into the Esdale state, and it was just like, okay. At the end of the show, I did, kind of a little, I won't say forcibly, but I did actually give him a little shake to make sure he was waking up, or at least mostly awake, and hadn't actually, given up on being with the rest of us here. But yeah, he did, and he looked up and he says, "Oh, are we starting?" And I said, "No, we're done." I got the audience right there too. So yeah, when there's an extra little piece of phenomena that you can capitalize on throughout the show or at the end of the show, it just adds to the authenticity of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It's the thing with hypnosis shows is they're so unique. They're absolutely unique. They're bizarre. They're fun, and you're learning. You get the wow factor of experiencing something. They're just great entertainment. They really are. Which is strange how there's so. Over here, I don't know what it's like. I think in the US, I'm guessing it's easier to, because you do a lot of college shows, don't you? You guys, you're allowed to do it over there. Over here, it's a bit restricted. Is that right? Over there,
more so in the States than in Canada.
Canada,
they tend to be a little restrictive on that sort of thing. But
okay.
I do know a lot, and in also there are differences. We were talking about this, Brian, I think last time. There are differences at the high school level too, because we generally only have a graduation ceremony. So graduation, prom, all the different ceremonies that would normally happen in other areas, we get one. So either if you graduate from the Catholic school system, usually it's the weekend after the May long weekend. And if you are in the public system, usually it's the end of June. Sometime in that last week of June is when graduation ceremonies are. Mm-hmm. And that's it. You get the one shot. So for me to try and make a season out of it here wouldn't work. But I do know some of my fellow guys here in the province will travel south, and they'll start in, I don't know, like North Dakota, and work their way all the way through to, I don't know, what's south of Illinois. Brian?
Oh, that's
Geography.
uh, south of Illinois. I want
Yeah.
to say Missouri.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. And then they'll work their
Yeah.
way back up, for different grads and whatnot, and different proms. Yeah.
They do
So
like a prom tour. Yeah, from
that's
travel up.
exactly it. They do a tour, and
Mm.
I know that for me, not this year, but next year, I'm going to look at doing a tour on the different fringe festivals that are, uh, um, you know, uh, there would be one, two, three, maybe five or six fringe festivals that would be in kind of Western Canada that are they're drivable distance,
Hmm.
and guaranteed performances for a week. So if I can nail even half of those, that would be ideal for me.
That'd
Hmm.
be great. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And so in Canada you have the same situation in a sense, because over here, for instance, I've got a show coming up in a couple of weeks, which is a theatre show, and anything that's public we have to get a license, the 1952 Hypnotism Act. So you have to apply to the local council to where that is. But it's very strange, because
Yeah, I remember
if
Grant was
you,
telling me about that. He was like,
yeah,
he goes, it's not that it's terribly difficult. It's just a couple of steps that you have to take. And I don't know that it necessarily, I don't want to say like it's cost prohibitive by any stretch of the means. Is that fair?
yeah, they have, yeah, I mean, they have like variations. Different councils have different prices. So I've paid up to, I mean, the most expensive one, which was the previous theatre show that we did, which was in Twickenham. So any London boroughs, if you're in the London boroughs, you normally get charged. And like the last one I did was £400.
But was that boroughs, like neighborhoods?
Yeah, like close
Okay,
neighbourhoods
okay.
into London. So councils that are local in London, they're and this is in the Act as well. Like it's written in the
Mm,
1952 Act. They can charge. And so I done my first theatre show in Twickenham Exchange, which is a London borough, and that was like I think it was 340. And then I applied to do it again the next year to do it in the same theatre, and then it was 400. And I was like, Jesus, man! Then I've got to pay for the theatre as well, and it's just
mm,
not. It just doesn't help. So yeah, the next show we're doing is in Surrey, so the County Surrey. So it's not in the London Borough. And so when I applied to them guys, and yeah, Grant, what like Grant's saying, it's not that difficult. You just got to give them. It's difficult, I think, if you're starting off because they ask you for 3 previous performances and to give a description of your performances. How did it go? Who was the council you went to? So if you're just starting off, they might look at that and go, "Oh, okay, this guy's got no background, no
yeah.
shows," and they might sort of look at that as an issue. Hopefully not, but anyway. So yeah, so sorry when I wrote to them, there was no fee at all.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's strange how they can, it's very
It's just more of
bizarre.
here's kind of my act and outline of it. We're not billing this as psychiatry or any medical mental health type of stuff. It's just, hey, at the end of it, we're gonna do some silly stuff, have some fun,
Yeah,
keep people safe, and then at the end of it, you're
yeah.
gonna you're gonna go with it. uh
Yeah, they don't want you to do anything that's like you remember like the line on a to the planking where they just get
oh, the
uh,
human bridge.
the human bridge, stand on them and stuff. They don't want to do any
Yeah,
of that, obviously. I mean, I'd never do that anyway, but that's one of
yeah,
them.
that stuff's that's frowned
Yeah,
upon, I think, kind of
in general, right?
universally. Yeah,
Yeah. It's just hey, watch this. Look what I can do with someone jumping up and down.
it's like,
But no,
yeah, it looks cool, it's amazing phenomena, but you know
yeah,
that could get somebody really, really hurt really, really fast, and I wouldn't be willing to risk it.
yeah.
Well,
If you do the
yeah,
show, you
the
got
insurance companies won't pay out on
No, they'll
all
cancel
that
your
sort of thing
insurance.
either. Yeah.
cancel it. Yeah, and then you got chiropractors in the audience licking their lips, getting ready with their cards.
Oh
There it
yeah.
goes. But yeah, so and you're not allowed to. You have to have volunteers only. There's a few little things you have to do, but I mean, um, it's common sense as well, just to make sure. But again, make sure everyone's safe and and it's done to a strict way that's, you know, ethically right as well.
So,
You know, I mean, I
so
don't ever embarrass
you,
people.
usually it's customary from the when I say what I've seen in the United States. Keep in mind it's limited. Uh, Usually at the end of the show, the hypnotist, like when I would go up with on stage with Jim, he would, you know, or grad night, it's like, look, to the volunteers on stage, here's my gift to you. You're gonna, you know, sleep better. You're gonna imagine whatever goal it is. You're gonna kind of realize that you become more driven to it.
Yeah.
You know, you're feeling better, more confident. Giving those suggestions, is that allowed, or does that fall under the mental health? You know, you're practicing psychiatry in the, as far as the United Kingdom is concerned.
Yeah, so you're not allowed to do any hypnotherapy on stage,
Right.
but you obviously what we do is one part of the act, and I do this whether it's a private, because private shows you don't need the license, okay? It's only for public shows.
But
So
like ticketed shows.
yeah, for any members of the public that come into it. So if it was a birthday party, which is a private, or a wedding, which was a private show, you wouldn't need the license. So the act
Oh,
wouldn't
okay.
come into it. But again, I always do the exact same routine with safety aspects. So making sure that anyone's with any heart conditions, back issues, and you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you do say, please don't volunteer if you have any psychosis, you know, schizophrenia, bipolar, panic attacks, epilepsy, stuff like that, before coming on. And you give them that first part in the pre-talk to make sure that no one comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I mean, listen, I mean, you know, some things I've had shows where, you know, and obviously you say, please don't volunteer if you're pregnant, you know, which is also important.
We do not want you going into labor on stage.
We do not. Yeah. Look at her doing backflips in 5 months into pregnancy. Not that anyone does backflips in my show. That's not anymore anyway. So yeah, but you know, you say that, and I've had people come up to me after and say after the show that, oh, why do I volunteered? And yeah, I found out I was pregnant and stuff. It's like, no, you shouldn't have volunteered. You know, it's not, you're not meant to, please don't do that. That's, you know, I'd say it for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So sometimes people, so it's good to say it a couple of times. I teach people this as well. It's good to say it a couple of times. So I have a voiceover which says it in a voiceover, and then I'll say it again before the show. Volunteers come up just to make sure. Because some people maybe don't listen at the time, or maybe they're drunk and they don't care.
Yeah. Well, so Becca's got another awesome question. She's curious, what made you first become interested in hypnosis, and how old were you? You guys may have covered that before I hopped on.
Yep, we did. But we can cover it again, and then let's dive into kind of the clinical or therapy side of what you do with hypnosis as well, because I know you do work with clients as well. And I guess the one thing that now that I've been on the stage and working with clients, that the one thing that I always wonder about is, how do you see the skill sets crossing over between the two, or are they maybe totally different from in your experience?
From stage to therapy. Yeah. I think they're close in a sense of the main. I think, you know, like I talk about that momentum thing. When you get, so I call it, when I explain to people about momentum, when I'm teaching, is I'm saying momentum is like it's like the wow, it's the mysticism of hypnosis. It's the, yeah, that if you bring like you know, you do the fingers suggestibility test, and you do bucket balloon, and when you get them to open their eyes and go, look where your hands are at, and they like that, and they go, oh wow, and did you feel the bucket? Could you feel the weight? Yeah, I could feel the weight of the bucket. My hand was, and my other hand was really light. I could feel it going up in the air. That is the crossover. It's that's where the magic happens. That's where they go, wow, because you need to say, look, something's happening. There's something going on in your subconscious mind, and we're going to utilize that. So giving them experiments, tests to show them something's happening, even if it's minor. They don't have to have their arms right up like that to be the greatest subjects. But I find if you can give them something that makes them question and go, oh wow. Once you get that, the belief system kicks in, and I think that's the most important part of it. I think that's, you don't need them to do anything other than that. It's just that the experiments, the tests, suggestibility tests, to get them to see something powerful that their subconscious mind is, and then obviously you have to relay that into, now imagine if we could get all your resources, your potentials, your confidences that are already within you, and let's bring them to the surface and show you how powerful you are, right? That's in my view the best way to capitalize on, from stage to therapy.
Yeah. And I think you're right. The more setup that we can do ahead of the actual change work that we do, the easier the change work becomes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think hypnosis is all about what happens before it. What happens before hypnosis is the most important part. If you walk up to someone, you grab their hand and say sleep without any pre-talk, nothing's going to happen. And if it does, it'd be very rare. Probably get a broken nose. Look at you,
very, very confused.
And somebody that likely may have a sore shoulder and wondering why you just did what you did.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And you could probably get away with it saying, "Well, I'm weird," but that's
yeah, it's just me. As you're running away from while they're chasing you.
And again, everybody has their own reaction to when they find out that you're a hypnotist, right? So, some guys will not look me in the eye now ever because I think I have magic powers, which I do, but I don't tell them that.
You remember what Jim was talking about when he went on that radio show, and he goes, the DJ wouldn't look me in the eye because she's like, you're a hypnotist, you're going to do something. And he's like, yeah, no. Like, I wish it worked that way, that, I'm going to hypnotize you and you're going to tell me your bank account information. And he goes, I would not be here on the radio with you. I'd be on my own island with an umbrella drinking.
It's funny how we all want our own islands, right?
Not you, not so much anymore.
Well, now we have to have like a Fortress of Solitude or something like that.
Yeah.
The other thing that I get a lot of is, of course, when people do find out that you're a hypnotist, they get excited. Mm-hmm. Hypnotize me, and blah blah blah. Oh my God, he's a hypnotist, and you do that in a classroom of 30 teenagers, in a high school classroom or a middle years classroom, and they just go absolutely bonkers. And I'll settle them down and I'll ask them, how do you know you're not hypnotized already? And then you can hear a pin drop, because now they're thinking, oh my God, what if he did it already?
Yeah, excellent. Oh, I bet you have so much fun as well, Shawn, doing that with the students.
They're like, quick, hypnotize me. It's like, bark like a seal. And like, no, do your homework. And then
that's just mean, Brian. Do your homework.
Okay. I was gonna say, not all of us can laugh like Becky, but she's gonna write a nasty comment here in a minute. But no, so Dylan, we would love to have you come out to Vegas. It sounds like you've got quite a bit to share. And have you ever been out to Vegas before? Or to
we came out to Hypno Forts in 2019. It was, and that was the last time we were there. And then COVID kicked in. I mean, every year it's been like, try and get out there next year. But I'm gonna make it. I want to have a chat with Grant.
There is a time to visit Las Vegas where it is not blistering hot outside.
That's when you guys
January.
January, right? Yeah. Me and Grant are due a coffee because I haven't seen him in ages. Always catching up with him every now and then, but I think we're just both doing our things, and but we keep saying it. We need to meet up, have a coffee. So it'd be great to both of us or meet up with him over there. It'd be lovely. Yeah, it'd be really good. So
I'd love to get out there and visit. That's one of the goals for, I think, later this summer. There's a couple things to get sorted out between now and then, but it's definitely doable. Up there, there it is.
Can't help it.
Becky, we love you anyway. Shawn and I are playing the control game back and forth. So,
we should, because we are getting on to an hour here, we should say, for those of you that are still out there, place your I don't want to say bets, because we're not really betting, and that's probably going to get me in trouble on TikTok to say that we're taking bets. But place your vote is
actually,
still
Shawn, when we're done with this, I've got news for you. So don't worry about TikTok. We're going to take care of that.
Oh, you guys are leaving again?
No.
I'm guessing something in the State of the Union was.
No. I was going to say, it's completely separate from any politics or current events. I've actually got some exciting news to share with you. So
okay, sounds good. Okay, so
place your guesses.
Yes, place your vote for the friend or frenemy. Is Dylan a friend or a frenemy? And we're going to ask that question in 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Why am I that specific? Because if we don't do it in 4 minutes and 32 seconds, Dylan's probably going to fall asleep.
More coffee.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've got Coach Mike in the chat here on TikTok. How's it going, Mike? Refresh my memory. Whereabouts are you in the States, Mike? Yeah. So when you work both sides of therapy and entertainment, at least in my mind, now that I have some understanding of both, I think it makes us better at what we do. We're able to think on our feet. If a technique isn't working, we don't send the clients away saying, "Oh, well, we just can't hypnotize you." We've got other options and other things that we can utilize to help them get to where they want to get to. Oregon. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So not too far away from Brian.
Oh, what part of Oregon? I'm curious.
Brian's asking, which part of Oregon are you from, Mike? Brian's up in Everett, Washington.
Yeah, I'm just south of Everett, a little ways north of Seattle.
Yeah. Eugene, he says.
Okay, nice area.
Yeah.
Definitely away from Portland. If you know, you know.
No, it's all good. And again, that part of the West Coast is an area that I'd like to get to as well. It's so many places that I want to get to, and time will get us.
It's geographically, it's beautiful out here. Grant will tell you it's a lot better if I'm not driving, but Grant's a little baby.
Listen, after Grant is so, you have to understand something. So in Saskatchewan, Dylan, and this area is like farmland. So it's where Grant was driving it's mostly flat. There aren't that many, hills and valleys and whatnot. But the central city kind of, yeah, the central. We pushed the mountains west. We didn't want it. They were blocking our view. We wanted to be able to see things for like 3 days, so we gave all the mountains to Alberta. And
Alberta traded them to British Columbia for oil.
Yeah, and there's really nothing to stop the snow. So when a blizzard rolls in, it literally can white out. You can't see the highway. The last snowstorm that went through, there were probably 30, if not more, people that drove literally off the edge of the highway because they couldn't see the highway anymore. So there were like trucks flipped over, and yeah.
What happened? You're talking to the insurance adjuster. Well, the road turned and it didn't signal before it did.
Oh, we got Jen. We got Jen here. She's actually not too far away from me. Yeah, that last storm that rolled through, Jen, there were pictures of trucks that were literally either they went basically did a somersault or they just flipped over on their side, but they fell off the highway. And I know because I have almost fallen off the highway going to PHS. I think I told you guys, there was probably a dozen times where the road disappeared. fortunately, I was going slow enough that when it reappeared, I could see. Oh, wait a minute! I should be over here, or I should be over here, and nobody else was on the highway. So, yeah, it's not the best driving conditions. But
Shawn,
Grant,
did you guys get
some
hit?
of that.
Did you guys get hit with that big storm that went through basically like New England and stuff like that, like a couple days ago?
No, that one developed further south and east. So,
okay.
Becca's saying, after hearing so many times Grant's traumatic experience with Brian's driving, I'm scared to come visit you over there now. So you know what you do instead, Becca? You stay in the Commonwealth and you come to Canada. To somebody who has an actual solid driving record.
In my defense, so we were coming down out of Stevens Pass, and so there's a part where the snow plows kind of had to change.
It's those mountains, Dylan. We moved them west.
So there's a part where
I got shifted.
So where we were at, it was, I think, 2, maybe 3 lanes wide. And so when the snow plows kind of shift to go into the inboard lane, that there's the change as the the blade kind of grades less and less of the lane. So I'm driving, all of a sudden passenger side or the right side of the SUV hits deeper snow than the left, and so it wants to turn slightly.
Wow.
And so I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm going to try to correct a little bit, and it was such wet, slushy snow that when it hit, it was a very abrupt. And of course, this is right as I'm saying, Grant, 4-wheel drive, these 4Runners handle like they're on rails. It's great. And then we kind of this way, this way, this way. And then I finally was like, yeah, there's no saving this. So we're going to let it come back around, and we're going to back into the snowbank versus try to fight it into oncoming traffic with big, heavy, like logging trucks coming up. I'm like, one is certain death. The other one is we hope there's enough snow to keep us on the mountain. So needless to say, we drove away and lived to tell the tale.
Yeah. And while that's happening,
in my defense.
Yeah.
Jen is asking and telling you, you know what? Don't bother with the whole winter thing. Come to Canada in the summer. But she is also asking, what is the average temperature for you guys over in London in the summer?
In the summer, actually, summer's not too bad. We get it about, I think it's between 25 and 30, 35. It depends. We have good summers, we have bad summers, but it's just because we're on a little island and we seem to get beaten up by all sorts of different, clouds from coming all over from Europe. It varies. It does vary, but we can have nice days.
You guys are generally pretty mild. Like you'll get your occasional, heat wave that rolls through, but it's kind of like Seattle. It's generally pretty comfortable.
Yeah, we're weird over here as well. UK people, London people are strange. We just, if it's either too hot, it's too cold. Everyone, we always moan about the weather. But yeah, I mean, we do every now and then get like a heat wave, and then
you guys are Goldilocks and the Three Bears. My porridge is too hot. Oh, it's too cold. Oh, it's just right. Oh, well, now we're gonna have somebody come in and steal it.
Yeah, exactly. We whinge about it, and then all of a sudden, summer leaves, winter comes back, and it's cold again. So I just can't please anyone.
The good thing about being in the prairies, and I'll even include Manitoba in this, Jen, because we're pretty similar when it comes to temperatures. We can go from about 20-ish degrees to 35 or maybe even 40 on a heat wave. But one of the things that I found out that is a little known fact is that the best type of weather to get a suntan in, if you actually tan, not crisp like my mother does when you walk out in the sun, but if you actually want to have a tan, the best place to get it is actually on the prairies, because it's a hot, dry heat, and it will bake you more golden brown than California will.
Yeah.
I won't say anything about Mexico because that's a whole different hot mess.
Yeah. I mean, we went to Nevada, we went to Las Vegas, and that's a strange heat out there because you don't know you're getting cooked. So you could be walking about, and all of a sudden you're like, Jesus Christ, I feel weird, and you don't know you're baking. In the UK, it's just, but it's really really hot. You know, you cook, you feel the heat, and it's all close air and it's horrible. But
Do you
yeah,
guys have a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
humidity out there?
Oh, it's horrible. Yeah, yeah, it's not good. So we try and travel to Spain to do a little tour out there to do some shows, and it's lovely. It's nice to do shows in shorts. I think that's
Oh
great.
yeah.
You know, yeah, I love that. You know, doing a show in the shorts. I know because normally over here doing whatever sort of get up. But over there, you know, it's a sort of t-shirt, you know, short sleeve and shorts. It's lovely. I
And
love doing
and,
shows
and,
out there.
and a lot of your larger areas in Spain they'll speak English.
That yeah, absolutely. You know, it's normally what we find out there is we get a lot of people that have retired over in the UK. They're out there living their life. They got their villas and stuff, so they're out there and they're just all they're 50, 60, but they love it. You know, it's great. They're all chilled out. You know, because you get some places you do over here and they're quite stressed and you know they're uptight and you go to a pub or a club and it's like that's their
It's like
drinking hole.
it's like the U.S. Like we're leaving the high taxes and we're going to go live abroad.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you know, but
It is time for the question. Do you want to ask the question, Brian, or do you want me to ask it?
I can ask it.
Okay.
So Dylan, clarifying context. This is not, if it's available, I'll eat it. Whatever so the question is based on you are calling up to order a pizza. You're going to get anything that you want on the pizza. Is pineapple going to be on the pizza or not?
Not for me. Not.
Oh, we have another friend. Jen, I know you like pineapple on your pizza, but you're closer to Ontario where they invented it. So,
and after all your comments tonight, Becca, you were wrong, just like Canada.
What's wrong with Canada?
Apparently not playing hockey this year. So, no, Dylan, with that answer, you are welcome in the United States. As far as I'm concerned, anytime, we'll welcome you with open arms.
Yeah, and we'll take you in Saskatchewan as well because we didn't invent the pineapple pizza. That was in Ontario.
Brilliant.
I often apologize to the world for the fact that we unleashed that on them. So Becca says, "Yay, I'm happy I was wrong. It's all good and it's all good fun."
And she put it in writing. Like that's the special kind of woman that Becca is.
So we had a show in Canada here called the Red Green Show. You might have seen it, Brian. If you haven't, you're gonna have to look it up. But
Shawn, I have a membership patch. Quando omni fluncus moritati.
Moritati. Okay, so you know. But at the end, they would do the man's prayer.
I can recite that too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lord, I'm a man and I can change if I have to, I guess.
So if you get a chance to look it up on YouTube, it is absolutely hilarious the way that they put that show together. But
there's Adventures with Bill, there's Handyman Corner. Rick Stevens is just his mind is just it's almost like if Deadpool was a senior citizen with copious amounts of creativity.
Yeah, trying to be a handyman. We'll leave it at that. So yes, the Red Green Show. If you get a chance to watch it, do because it makes some popcorn. It would be a great half hour, 45 minutes of your life to actually.
YouTube will break it down into segments.
Yep.
Going here, we'll do this like 3 to 5 minute sketch, and then they'll roll into something else. But yeah, the
comedy is gold is there.
It's there, and they don't have like a outrageously large budget either, but they
No, they never
make it
did.
work. Yeah, it's
The most
pretty
expensive
awesome.
part of the show was the duct tape. And we'll leave it at that because now we're really piquing people's interest.
Yeah.
All right. We always allow a little bit of time for hypnosis. So, Dylan, if you still have a little gas in the tank, we will turn it over to you. Before we do, of course, if you are listening to this, our usual disclaimer, remember that hypnosis relies on focus. If your current circumstances need you to focus, i.e. you're driving, cooking, doing something that you shouldn't be, folding the laundry, standing up, you can either stop listening and come back to this later, or get yourself comfortable. We'll give you a moment to get yourself comfortable, and then you can proceed with listening to Dylan. So we'll turn it over to you. And
I was saying to emphasize safety, guys, if there's anything that can poke your eyes or make you go blind, remember you can't hear boobs.
Something I didn't need in my mind right now, Brian. How can I focus now?
Yeah, and sleep. We call that the motorboat induction. I tried to time it, Shawn. For those people who don't know, Urban Dictionary is your friend.
All right, Dylan, over to you.
Okay. So, what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to take a nice, big, deep, refreshing breath of air. Breathe in deep. As you exhale, allow your whole body from the top of your head to the tips of your very toes to relax. Relax. If you're lying down, just allow yourself to lie down, relax comfortably. If you're seated, just sit, relax comfortably. And just allow yourself to get into a position that's right for you. And I'm already imagining that your eyes are closed. And I'd like you to take another big deep breath in. Take a big deep breath in. Breathe in deep. As you breathe out, just allow yourself to double the relaxation. Let it go. Now. Good. I want you to start that relaxation first with the tips of your toes. Relax your feet, the bottoms of your feet, the arch, the heel. Let that relaxation move up. As this happens, I'm going to count down from 10 down to 1. And with each number, I'd like you to just double the relaxation to treble the relaxation. So going from 10, take another big deep breath in. Breathe in deep. As you drift down, just float, drift, relax to 9. Allow that relaxation to move into your calves and your shins, completely relaxed. Let that relaxation move like a blanket of relaxation up to your knees. Allow your knees to become so relaxed, and if you try to stand up, you just fall back down in that location. That's how relaxed I want your knees to become. Take another big deep breath in. Breathe in deep. As you exhale, floating, drifting and dreaming, 7. From 8 to 7 to 6. Just let your whole body let go. Just relax, let go, feel limp, loose and relaxed. As you drift now, more comfortable, more relaxed. With every breath you exhale, going deeper and deeper. And your thigh muscles can relax, your stomach muscles, all the way up to your shoulders. Let your shoulders completely relax. Take another big deep breath in. Breathe in deep. As you exhale, just allow yourself to drift deeper and deeper, floating to 5, halfway to perfect relaxation. As you drift deeper and deeper, relaxing more and more. And that relaxation can move from the top of your shoulders. It can move down your arms like a waterfall of relaxation, trickling down your arms, your biceps, triceps, all the way down your elbows, all the way down, all the way to your wrist, your hands, to the very tips of your fingers. That's it. Good. Good. Now take another big deep breath in, breathing deep. As you double that relaxation on your out breath, float, drift and dream and relax all the way down to 4. That's it. You're doing absolutely perfect. Let that relaxation make its way up your neck, relaxing your neck, completely relaxed. As it moves up to the top of your head, allow yourself to feel free of any stress, any tension, any tightness. Now let it all go as you breathe and relax. Top of your head relax completely. That relaxation can move down to the front of your face, your eyes, your nose and mouth. Relax. Just relax completely. Take another big deep breath in, breathing deep. As you breathe out, allow yourself to go even deeper. That's it. Now relax the most important part of your body. Relax your mind. Just relax your mind and just focus on your breathing as you drift comfortably to 1. Totally and completely relaxed. And just focusing on the sound of my voice as you go even deeper, allowing a powerful subconscious mind to be receptive and open to new positive ideas of change, positive changes that you can make. And I just want you to think about something that you'd like to achieve, something you'd like to do. It could be something simple. It could be something like a book that you want to read that's been left on the side, gathering dust. Something that you want to achieve, maybe improve on your golf game. It could be anything your subconscious mind chooses right now. And what I'd like you to do is just know that your powerful subconscious mind can create a route, a map, an understanding and an idea how to make that happen, that change happen for you, to be able to do what you want to do, to be the best that you can be. And as you just breathe and relax now, just allow yourself to go deeper and deeper. And just trust and understand and know for sure that your powerful subconscious mind can create that map, that route, that way, that destination to make those changes necessary for you to do what you need to do. That's right. Good. And just know that these wonderful changes, these ideas, can just happen for you naturally, easily and effortlessly, just in the coming days, weeks, months, in subtle ways, easily, effortlessly, just allowing you to make those necessary changes. That's it. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. When I get to number 5, you'll open your eyes, be wide awake, be feeling fresh, alert, ready to carry on the rest of the day, rest of the week, rest of your life in a positive new way. So get ready. 1, coming up slowly now. 2, beginning to reorientate yourself in wherever you are. 3, take a big deep breath in on 4. And 5, eyes open, wide awake, feeling fresh, alert, and ready to carry on the rest of your morning, evening, or wherever you are in the day right now. Feeling good, feeling positive. Welcome back.
All right. Let us know how that was for you, and we will stay on for just a couple more minutes. Anything, Dylan, that while we're waiting for people to report in, anything that we missed that you wanted to make sure that you highlighted or wanted to talk about? Anything coming out? I know you said you had a couple shows coming up, so.
Yeah, I've got training as well that I've got coming up in May in the UK, and
Okay.
that's on the 30th and 31st. So anyone's obviously welcome from anywhere around the world wants to come over to that. It's great for beginners, as we spoke about before. So great for people who are starting at the beginning. So we teach people the plan B, teach people how to handle, venues that are tough, because that's the tricky part is, you're starting off new, you're already sort of, anxious. You've just learned stage stuff with a couple of training schools, and you're sort of ready to hit the big world. and it can be daunting, and it can be like, I remember my first show, I had a whole script written out, like pre-talk, and I remembered it verbatim. But the day that I went out there to say it in front of these people, I don't even remember what I said. I think it was completely different. I changed it completely differently. But yeah, so the training's great for people that are beginning at the start, and we teach all the necessary resources and tools to be able to combat anything that comes their way when they're first starting off. So, and we check out the reviews and on my website and stuff to see previous students that have done it.
So
So
you brought up an interesting point about difficult venues. How would you either define or characterize a difficult venue?
So if you've got, say, you get a phone call and a venue owner of a pub says, "Hey, I'd love to book you in for a weekend in a couple of months." Yeah, brilliant, no worries. And you go there, and it could be that there's, say, 30 people in the audience, and you're setting up and you're really excited. And people come up to you and go, "Oh, hello, mate. What are you doing tonight then?" That's not a good sign. "Oh, I'm a comedy hypnotist." "Oh, really? Oh, okay." And then they walk away. So, oh, crap. These people should know why I'm here.
Yeah, you're like, that's a marketing fail on the venue.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I've done because that's another thing I teach as well, is like how to talk to venue owners. I mean, I remember when I first started off, I had a place in Staines, which is just up the road from me where I am now, and I remember going in there on the day that I performed, and I was like looking for the posters that I sent this guy. I paid it with Vistaprint, I got it all sent out to him,
right? And
there was like one in the toilet, like behind the door. So it was like the door was mainly open.
Oh,
like
okay.
So,
I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, so it was a disaster, and the show was really bad. So I had to come up with ways of, what happens if I don't have the volunteers? What happens if I don't have enough people? So I came up with a good sort of second, like plan B, as I say, option to create something that will be still giving them something, and you still want to get paid, because you can have. I've had arguments with venue owners before. I've been up there and travelled miles, and they've not got the audience that I've asked them to do. So in the contract as well, it's stated, you've got to protect yourself, because
I was going to say on that, you're not necessarily doing like a ticket split. You're basically saying, here's my fee, I'm coming out to do something. Now, question for anybody who's in the UK looking to kind of break into the industry, but then they also, like you said, a lot of townships and councils will ask, "Hey, what's the last 3 places that you performed in? What did you tell them?" Is there a way to, I don't want to say like piggyback off an already established performer, but I'll use Grant and myself. If for whatever reason I relocated to England and said, "Hey, I want to start performing out here," would it be better for me to do a show with Grant, get some stage time, do a couple of those things? That way I can say, "Hey, I performed here, without incident. I've got the insurance and everything with the coverage." Then if I wanted to do a stage show myself, is what would you recommend as far as a strategy for someone who's just starting out?
Yeah, I mean, that's actually quite a sound idea. That's pretty good. What you just said there. If I remember rightly, what I done was I'd done a few private events, and I added them into my free performances. But they weren't obviously performances that required a license. So, but I did write them down anyway. And I remember the first time. Now, this is what I did. This might be something worth recommending. Is actually go to the council and meet anyone that you can meet, rather than do it, because it's always good for someone to see someone face to face rather than it written, because they get a better understanding of who they're dealing with. Because at the end of the day, from their perspective, they just want someone who's going to be safe and do things properly, and they're looking out, because they're handing out a license. In theory, if they find out that show happened and someone, I don't know, just out of saying someone fell off the stage or someone had a bad experience, then it will come back to the license council, right? If it went further, I don't know if there's any documented cases that are happening, but But so
are
yeah,
you talking about like any type of claim for damages or injury?
yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not too sure, like I say, if that's the case. I've never looked into it, but from my side, I've always made sure that I've covered all the steps. I even said, I'll tell you what they can do, which I will still do today, is you could do like a safety report write-up that you do before performance. So like a
Mm.
pre-check, and you can send that to the council and say, this is what I do before my performance. So wire check, make sure the stage is set, make sure everything's no trip hazards. Just give them a write-up of a safety check that you do before your performance that you send to the council so they can check it over and say, right, because that's what they want to see. They want to make sure that you're a sensible person and you're looking out for the public. So that would be a good thing. Go down to the council, maybe meet up with the licensing person if you can do that and speak to them in person. That's another thing. I did do that on my very first show, my very first license I applied for. So yeah, because it's a nerve-wracking thing, you've got no background in no history of it, so it's a bit of a are they going to accept me? Are they going to allow it? But yeah, it can be. It does get done. You've got to start somewhere, and they must appreciate that as well.
Last question to Becca, and she says you probably talked about this at the start, but I wasn't there. I gather that they are all your hypnosis certificates behind you. Are they all hypnosis, or do you have some other certificates from other modalities?
She's talking about the wall of fame behind you.
Yes, the Wall of Fame. So I'm sharing some of them with my partner, so she's got half of them as well. So they're all hypnosis related. They're all most of them are therapy. I think there's one actually from Mark Savard somewhere. Oh yeah, Mark Savard's at the very top.
Yep.
Hang on, I'll show that one.
And Mark, of course, just started performing again in Vegas. His show, it's now off the strip, but he's up and going. So shout out to Mark, another guy who's been in Vegas for quite some time and trained a lot of people.
Definitely.
I can remember. Yeah, I can remember him traveling through Canada, doing various shows. I know he did the Calgary Stampede once or twice, which is it's a huge show. Well, the Stampede itself is like a huge rodeo every year in Calgary, and it would be on par with a lot of the kind of rodeos in like Texas and those parts where there's lots of cattle and so on and so forth. So at least that's one place where you don't have to ask where's the beef, because it's usually on the barbecue.
Yeah, I think Mark taught me Mark showed me back in 2019 when we came to Vegas that I'm actually a bloody good pole dancer. So thanks for that, Mark. Learn something new about ourselves every day.
I'm going to go back in the archives and see if I can find that show.
Yeah, I've got it on a USB stick. My missus keeps it as blackmail, so
well,
okay, make sure I behave.
Gotta have the right ammunition, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All good. All right, we will let everybody get going. Thank you, Dylan, for spending your very early morning with us. I know it's probably just about 3 o'clock, just after 3 Tuesday morning there. So go ahead, get some sleep, and thanks again. Hopefully we will cross paths either at the UK convention at some point, or Performing Hypnosis Summit, or if you make it to Hypnothoughts and it just happens to be a year that I can get there. There's always lots of opportunity for that. Nail Grant down for a time for coffee, because he was here for a whole month and I had coffee with him twice.
Yeah, I will.
You guys were also going this way and that way.
Well,
and
yeah,
ships crossing in the night.
Yeah, there was. We purposely had to make sure, and one of those nights it was -40 outside. So,
God, that's just
that's cold. That's cold.
Yeah,
that
so we actually almost didn't even want to go outside to go to the coffee shop, but we did anyway. So
that's profanity cold.
Yeah, that's ridiculously cold. That's like breathe out and then your breath turns to ice, drops to the floor cold. Days.
Yeah, well, those videos of people that take the boiling hot water and throw it up in the air and it comes down as snow, yeah, that's real.
That's real. Yeah.
Or
No,
they
but
There's
listen,
also a lot of people that misjudge the temperature and
or
throw
they
the
just
boiling
throw.
water up and then scald themselves because you're not supposed to do. I mean, who dumps boiling water on their head, right?
I was gonna say, isn't the thing to take boiling water and you throw it up in the air and it just evaporates?
That might happen in the summer. Actually, there have been a few, very few, but there have been a few, and Jen would be able to attest to this because Winnipeg, for as cold as Saskatchewan and Manitoba get in the winter, it can get equally as hot in the summer. So there have been a few heat waves where we were at like 45, 48 degrees.
God.
You know, and you can imagine what pavement is like at that point. I mean, you literally could crack an egg on it and fry it right there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it goes both ways. So
No, that's wild.
yeah.
But yeah, I just want to say thanks very much for having me on your show. Appreciate the invite, guys. Really do. Thank you, Brian, as well. Thank you.
No,
Shawn.
we appreciate you taking the time to join us. Like I said, we know it's late, and it's just awesome you took the time out of your evening.
No, it's like what you said at the beginning when you're talking about the conferences, like when you meet people, and it's nice to, because when you're out doing this on your own, you kind of forget how many people are doing this. So when you have these chats and stuff, it just feels like a congregation of the of the
Well,
minds.
and then jumping on the different podcasts and everything like that, or listening, you kind of get to know people a little in a way.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and then when you meet them in person at a conference or whatever, it's like, oh, hey, dude, it's good to see you. Versus,
Yeah.
hey, I'm walking into this building, I don't know anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You also have something to talk about. Be like, oh, I know a little bit about you. How is stuff in London? Is it hot, cold, whatever? Versus, hey, where the hell are you from?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's right. It's good. It's good to to do these podcasts. It's great. And yeah, I'm going to make the effort to hopefully in January even, to come out to the Performing Hypnosis. Because like I say, I've just been motoring on with me stuff, with me training and everything else. So might be nice to come back from that and just come out and meet and just do some conferences and stuff.
Take a break and reconnect with, like you said, with other people that are doing the same thing. It's always an interesting feeling because yes, it's Vegas and there's the glitz and the glamour and so on and so forth, but then there's also the community, and that's that to me is as valuable of a an asset as you could possibly get. Is that there are other people doing what you're doing. They've maybe encountered a few different things that maybe you haven't, or maybe you've encountered something that they have, and you kind of form an instant bond or instant connection. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's great. It's good.
Yeah, I mean that was definitely the case with Grant and Shawn and I. Is we had Grant on as a guest back when it was just Jim and myself, and I think Shawn, I'm pretty sure you were involved at that point in time.
Probably, yep.
But we were. I think those were back in the days where you're like, look, I'll manage the comments and the tech and the stuff behind the scenes. But finding out a little bit more about Grant, and like he was in the same he's in the same Masonic fraternity or fraternal organization that Jim and I were at, or like Jim was in and I am. And so then he threw up a couple of things in the comments and I'm like, okay, yeah, I know what that means. And then there's that connection, the friendship, and then it's messages back and forth and interacting. And then you see each other in person, and all of a sudden it's like, brother, come here, big hugs and everything like that. And then it strengthens that. And so like I said, I encourage anybody to get out, whether it's PHS, whether it's Michigan, any place where you can get together with people.
Yeah.
And kind of find your niche. I mean, you don't have to be, hanging out with every single person, but you know, find your core group of people that you get along with, that you know, have the ability to help you out. If you have a question, you know, like, you know, we'll wrap up with this, and I'll fill Shawn in about the TikTok stuff, that hopefully will something that'll come to fruition. But speaking of things that are coming to fruition, Shawn, huge shout out and credit to you and Grant for doing all the behind the scenes stuff with the PHS website. There's a lot of effort that's going into this early on.
Yeah, I told everybody that we're just about there, and you know, to expect an announcement on speaker submissions coming up here fairly quickly, because again,
I think March 1 is our target date.
Yep, we're looking to be ahead of the wave and not underneath it.
Yeah.
So,
and so I'm working on some other things, really to just enhance the overall experience. So if there's stuff that you guys want to do, you know, yes, we normally will go see Kevin's show and Michael Deschalet and, you know, some different things, but you know, if there's things that you're like, you know what, I want to just have an evening by the pool, or go have a nice dinner, or explore Vegas a little bit, you know, yeah, it's great to go do stuff as a group, but if there's other things that you guys want to do, let me know, and I will see if we can't set something up, so you guys can have some options to go play.
Well, it's Vegas. There's always options to go play, and I got all kinds of stories about the Rat Pack and whatnot, and they're actually connected as much to Vegas as New York. So that's for another time.
Yeah,
we should let everybody get going here. I will say this, of course, we say this all the time: take care, stay well, be awesome,
stay free, everybody.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.